Good morning, fam. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, our third day of the second try at distance learning. I hope everybody's doing good. Um, yeah, I hope things are going well for you. I want to make sure before I jump into the lesson, just try to talk to you a little bit about what's going on and make sure everything's good with everybody. For me, been getting up mornings, trying to do a run every morning before I get started on my schoolwork. So I'm still up by 6. I have some breakfast. I do a little bit of work and let my breakfast settle, and then I'll go out for a run and do a little bit of an exercise, uh, and get showered and get cleaned up and get dressed before 9 o'clock hits. So I'm ready to really work for you guys. And now I've got a whiteboard down here to where I'm writing down my priorities, and I'm really just trying to make it as business-like as possible. It's not the same business we were in the classroom, but it's still business, and we still want to do the best we can. So if you can carve yourself a nook, a spot that's strictly just for you to study, do it. A couple of things we've been noticing. I've got about 50 of my 73 kids on Google Classroom, so I'm really happy about that. So the more you can do in Google Classroom, the better. The easier it is for me to get to you and check things you're doing. So I really appreciate that. But what I want to point out a few things is I'm going to try to make sure that I'm sharing stuff in the assignment within Google Classroom, so you can just fill it out right on there, whether it's a Google Doc or slides or whatever it might be. Like I said, the more you can do on Google Classroom, the easier it is for me to give you feedback rather than you having to wait a while for feedback from the packet. So yeah, but I wanted to jump into what today's lesson is, which is talking about the Vietnam War, and not so much the war itself, but what was happening at home at that time. So we're going to study some songs at the end of this week and a few early next week to just get a feel for that time period, because it was one of the most chaotic time periods of our history in recent memory, and now we're in a really chaotic time period too. So we want to try to make the connection between that time period and this time period and see what's the same and see what's changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. I want to share this. And all right, great. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing. I still see myself in the corner, so good. So this week we are looking into the political culture and protests that surrounded the Vietnam War. I'm just reading right at the top of the page. Use the song lyrics to answer the questions on the other half of the page. In your Google Classroom, you can listen to the lyrics of the song as you read them. Now, I'm going to read through them a little bit, point some things out, but connected to this assignment is also a video to the song that you can listen to, or you can just find it yourself. It's called For What It's Worth. It's by a band named Buffalo Springfield. All right, so before we go into the lyrics, I want to come over and look at the questions. So while we're going through this, if you're doing it with me or while you're reading, highlight the things that you think reference Vietnam. Then 2, pick 5 words or phrases that really stand out to you. So what stands out from the song? Number 3, what is the tone of the song? What is the mood? What is the feel? What is the vibe of the song? That's what I'm asking you there for number 3. Number 4, I'm pointing out a couple specific verses. Number 4, in the verse it says, "There's a man with a gun over there telling me I've got to beware." What do you think the man over there could be? Or who do you think the man over there could be? Who is that a reference to? Number 5, what was the band trying to say with the lyric, there's battle lines being drawn, nobody's right if everybody's wrong? And could this song be describing our time rather than 1970s why or not? This is kind of the conclusion question I'm really going to be looking for you to do. So, all right. So now that we know what we're looking for, if you want to do your highlighting, you can just highlight on your document right on here. There's a feature right up here where you could use a highlighter. So I'll get just a teal highlighter. So I'm starting with the beginning of the song right here. It says, "There's something happening in here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I've got to beware." So this is that one lyric that I was talking about with you a little bit ago. So this one right here is an important one. So bam, I'm gonna put a highlight on it. So right there. And then here's the chorus. "I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down." That's like the key chorus verse there. So those are the first verse and the chorus. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. So here's that other lyric that I wanted to highlight, and it's just especially this line right here. I think is really important. All right, so we're gonna hit that. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody, look what's going down. Okay. So again, the message in the chorus is stop, stop. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Everybody's got to stop and look around. And I feel like that's a time period that we're in right now, is that we all need to stop and see what's going down. Then the third verse, what a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the streets, singing songs and carrying signs, mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. And then the final verse, paranoia strikes deep. Into your life it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. So paranoia, keyword. Paranoia, that's just being worried. And I feel like that's wrong. I didn't want to do that. Sorry, hold on. I want to do this. Paranoia, being afraid, being worried. And I think this is so applicable to what we're dealing with right now, whether it's just our world or coronavirus. Like, there's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot of people that are really worried. And paranoia is when your worries go beyond just, the right amount of worry. It's when you're like really, really freaked out by something, maybe not logically. Into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. And I feel like there's so many people in our world that are living lives that are afraid all the time. And some people have, their lives are difficult. So I don't want to say that they shouldn't be afraid. But this last line, step out of line, the man come and take you away. So kind of along with number 4, there's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to be where. This is related to that too. So this line right here, I'll highlight it. This is kind of related to that same point here. So step out of line, the man come and take you away. And then the chorus plays for 4 or 5 times at the end of the song. So as I'm going through the key things, and there's some basic stuff at the end, but really we're starting with the tone. Like, what's the vibe? What's the feel of the song? And then a couple of these verses that are really highlighting, I want you to think of, but again, right up here, number 2, just list some of the words or the phrases that really stood out to you besides the one that I highlighted. So I'm going to stop my screen share and bring me back. So that's our lesson for today. Listen to the song a bunch of times over and over, and really, really get a feel. And you can see some of the videos and you can see the imagery of it. So I'm really excited for this lesson. I hope it's good for you. As always, keep messaging me, keep hitting me up. Let me know if you need anything. But that's today's lesson, Wednesday, April 8th.